Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is kind of about the time I got locked out of school. That kind of may sound a bit weird because you may be like, why are you locked out of school? Did you just turn up late? Because this is not clickbait, because I don't do that kind of shiz. Yeah, it's not clickbait, it's just something that happened. I was being kind and it didn't work out well for me. Anyway, basically what happened was I was in my AV production class, which is basically just doing videos like this. So all the videos that I've done, like my Grand Prix one, my my Ollie Mares singing video or music video, and my British slang video, they were all for my AV production class. Although British slang was for my one in the last school. But you get my drift, you know what AV production is. It's that. So I was in there, I'd finished all my work because I was a good little girl and I got it all done. So for the last few lessons I've been helping my teacher with other people uploading their projects onto the computer, stuff like that, because they were, I don't know why I was so far ahead, but literally everyone was so far behind me. I don't know what I'd done, I don't even know, but I was so far ahead. So basically I do that. I'm helping for the last few lessons and then it comes to this lesson and I didn't bring my folder because I was like, I don't need it. I've just been helping the teacher. I don't need a binder to help a teacher. So I didn't bring it. And we get to class, I'm sat down, I'm just doing nothing, and then teacher stands up and goes to the whole class, can I have your first drafts please, to so I can grade them, because like they needed the first draft to make a finished copy, and mine was obviously in my locker. Well, it wasn't obviously in my locker, but it was in my folder, which was in my locker, so it was, you know, it was there. So I go up to the teacher and I'm like, hey sir, can I go to my locker because that's where my first draft is? And he's like, okay. So off I go, plodding on my way to go and get me binder. I'm not even that far from my locker. Literally, my classroom's here. I have to go up this way, which is like pretty much at the top of the hallway anyway. I had to go to the top of the hallway, go through the whole of the lunch area, or the commons as we call it, and then halfway down the other hallway. Basically, my classroom is about, if I could just cut along, they're pretty much about the same place. So if I cut, I would get to my locker, but you can't, there's classrooms in the way, which is annoying. So yeah, I had to walk all the way around. It took me about a minute to get to my locker. It's not that far away, if that. As I'm walking through the commons, there is some doors where students get in, and my AV production class is first lesson, and the lesson had started like 5 minutes ago. So I'm walking and I see these two boys and they're like banging on the door being like, let us in, let us in. And I'm like, I look at them, I'm like, no. If you haven't been let in by the time I come back, then maybe, but I don't want to like just push through. So I just carry on walking, get to my locker. Literally I look at them and then turn, because I'm like, I don't want to pay too much attention to them. So I didn't. I got to my locker, got out my sheets, and I'm like, I'm done. I could have gone the other way and not gone past the window, which I kind of wish I'd done, but maybe me. I went back this way. And I went back, I again glanced at the door and they're still there knocking, so I'm like, well, it would be rude to not let them in. So I open, there is two sets of doors. There is the door here, there's a little area that I don't know what it is, and it's another door that goes outside. So they're in the outside door and I'm in the inside door, like the actual inside, so there's the middle area blocking us. So I open the first door, I'm in the middle area now, and I open the second door and they're like, thank you, blah, we've been stuck here for ages, and I turn around to open the other door and it's shut behind me, and I didn't know that they lock. So at this point I was in the middle section just being stood there, and I was like, why? What did I do to deserve this? I was being nice and now I'm locked out. So many people were walking past. Literally one of my friends walks past. I bang on the door being like, can you let me in? And they just shake their head at me and I'm like, you bitch. Turns out they were being told not to. Teachers were telling them not to open the doors, and I was like, rude. Apparently you're not meant to let people in because you never know, they could be gunmen, but in the UK we don't have gunmen that come to schools, so we don't worry about that kind of stuff. So again, I was stood in the middle area. We are literally stood there for about 10 minutes just waiting and waiting for people to let us in. But then we finally decided nobody's gonna let us in. We may as well just walk around. So the two boys split up. I go with one boy who I believe was a sophomore. So I'm like a grade older than him, I'm a freshman. No, I'm not, I'm a junior. He was either sophomore or freshman, I can't really remember. And the other one just stays and he's like, I'm determined to get in, I will get in. He doesn't. I don't know what happens, but he doesn't get in. Never saw him again. So yeah, we split up. Me and this guy were walking, we're talking. They didn't know each other. They met on this day. So we walk all around the school, which literally took about 5 minutes. And I was like, why? You saw me let them in. Why couldn't you just... Why? I was so annoyed. Like, you don't even know how annoyed I was. I was just peed off. So we go in and we get to the front entrance because we were going for the back entrance. The front entrance is like over here. I don't know why I went like that. But the front entrance is here. There is the front door, the big middle space, which is actually a lot bigger. It's about 2 times as big, and then the door to get into the actual school. But in the big middle space, there is an office for what in the UK we would call student services. It's that, but it's like reception, basically. Because once you get into there, there's a door that goes down there into the counsellors and all that kind of stuff, and there's another door that goes into the actual school. So we have to go into this door that goes into the reception, and we were like, hi, we're late. Well, I didn't say this, the guy was like, oh, I'm late. And I look at the woman and she's like, can I take your names please? She takes this boy's name. I wasn't paying attention. I was shitting myself, if I'm gonna be honest. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna get in so much trouble just for letting some guys in. They're gonna think I was late. Oh my god, my brain is running. Basically, ever since my little panic attack, I'm so panicky. If you haven't heard my panic attack story, links below. Yeah, self-promo. So yeah, I'm like all panicky, and no one looks at me and goes, and your name? And I'm like, I am not late, I let them in. And she looks at me and she's like, you shouldn't let people in. And I was like, sorry for being nice. I didn't say this again. Wouldn't dream of it. So in my head I'm like, sorry for being nice. And I'm like, well, I didn't know, I'm new here. And she was like, oh, okay, well just don't do it again next time. So I go out, this guy's still in there, I don't know what he's doing, I think he's filling out a sheet or something. I walk out and the school security comes up to me and he's like, you don't let people in. And I'm like, sorry, I didn't know. Like literally, I'm like, sorry, I didn't know. And he's like, you never know who they could be. They could be like anybody. And like, he's been really strict here. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm new. Can you not tell by my accent? I don't live here. I'm just learning about this stuff. But honestly, I felt so annoyed by him because he was just like being like harsh and nasty, and he didn't need to be. Like, he could just be nice and politely be like, can you not let them in again? You know. So I go back into class, now 15 or 20 minutes late, and I'm like, hey, I did go to get a sheet of paper, but I may have got locked out of the school in the same way. Luckily I had a nice teacher who was just like, we were kind of like, I don't want to say we were close, but I could have a conversation with him. He's like one of those cool teachers where he's like, oh, I don't care, do what you want kind of thing. As long as you get your work done, just do what you want. And because I was finished, he didn't care. And he was just like, it's fine. And he just laughed it off. And I was like, it's not a laughing matter, mate. Just be locked out of the school. It's like, why? So that is my story of how I got locked out of the school. And it teaches me now that if I want to be nice, don't. Because in America, kindness gets you nowhere. I know for next time, never let people in again. So a little hint, if you're in America, don't let random people in. They could be gunmen. But see, I could have let a killer in, I suppose. You know, that wouldn't have been very good. But I didn't know, I was being nice. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this other little story. I don't think I have any more story times to tell you. But if anything happens, let me know. No, if anything happens and you want me to tell you a story time, just let me know and I will make one if anything happens. I worded that so weirdly. I'm so good with words. Anyway, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Thumbnail, thumbnail, thumbnail. Hiccup. Hey guys, so today I'm doing a kind of a different Ipsy and I want you guys to tell me which one you prefer.